Welcome back to 33-year-old boomer ranting in the void. Can you tell? Can you tell that it's really foggy? Isn't that spooky? You may have heard the following saying: if you find what you love, you will never work a day in your life. But is that true? Let's talk about it. So here is a universal truth about the human condition. And this truth is that novelty always fades. Over the past 8 years, I have been a full-time freelance video editor. Over the past 5 years or so, I've been traveling pretty much full-time across Europe. And I think that this is what most people would describe as a quote-unquote dream job. You get to do creative stuff, you get paid for it, and you get to travel, and you have a bunch of freedom. And there is a lot of truth in this. Many would consider it to be a dream job, and I would agree. I do not want to appear to be ungrateful for the opportunities that I've had. However, I just want to point out, from someone who's had a quote-unquote ideal situation for a very long time, I want to tell you that there will be days when you will wake up. If you make it, you will have days when you wake up where you'll think, I have to go do my remote work whilst I'm traveling in Portugal. Here's some footage of me in Portugal from a couple of years ago, by the way. I think you're looking at some footage of me backpacking through like a storm. That was pretty fun. That was a core memory there. But no matter how perfect your scenario is, you will not be deliriously happy 24/7. This is just not how the human mind works. And that's a good thing. This is normal. Now you might think, Christian, why are you telling me this? Why are you trying to blackpill me? Why are you telling me that even if I get exactly what I want, I will not be a happy bunny 24/7? The reason why I'm telling you this is because if you are fortunate enough to get precisely what you want, there will come a point where you will be unhappy regardless of how perfect your situation is. And you will feel guilty for doing so. You'll have all sorts of thoughts like, other people have it so much worse than me. Why can't I be super happy? Why can't I be deliriously happy every waking moment of every day? And the reality is that that's just not going to happen. That's just not how it works. And that's fine. If you make it as a programmer, or whatever it is that you want to do, you will not be happy 24/7. And that is absolutely fine. That's normal. It doesn't mean that you're not passionate about programming. It doesn't mean that you're not passionate about whatever it is that you pursue. It simply means that you are human and your mind has become accustomed to whatever situation it is that you find yourself in. That's just what the human brain does. It's very good at doing this. For example, I really like coding. I was exposed to programming back in the early 2000s through Pascal. Very nice, classic. There was no dot sort. I had to literally learn bubble sort. Like I had to figure out, okay, if I want to sort out this array, how do I sort it in ascending order? Well, you learn bubble sort and you do it. You implement the code by hand. And I always thought it's incredibly fun to learn stuff like that. And then I had a bit of a weird side quest where I got into music and filmmaking and sound and all that kind of stuff. And then I found I realized that in my spare time, I wasn't really pursuing music or video editing or photography. I was pursuing coding. And it just happens that I'm so big-brained that no matter what I pick, no matter what I choose, I just get really good at it. It's a blessing and a curse. I'll talk more about it in a future video. But I am aware that no matter how fun coding is, there will be periods of time where I just won't be as passionate about it. And that's fine. That's when you use discipline to get through things. You know, like you use the passion as jet fuel to reach escape velocity. And then you use discipline to get really good, to complete whatever project it is that the passion has gotten you involved with. It's okay. It's okay to sometimes not be that passionate. It's just called being human. I always see people ask questions like, what is, can I get a job that I am super passionate about, that I get paid a lot of money to do, and where I have a bunch of freedom? And the answer is that job doesn't exist. Even if you say, well, no, look, this job right here, here's the listing, this job exists. The problem is that your brain can get good to anything, good or bad. And eventually your brain will make it so that the novelty wears out. And the fun that you experienced when you were first learning something kind of goes away. And you have to figure out a way to reignite that spark by learning something new or by working on a new project. If you are looking for this mythical job where you'll just be happy forever doing it and it's easy, you will be severely disappointed. Because as you might imagine, everyone wants this job. Everyone wants to be a fashion photographer taking photos of beautiful women all day. You're going to have some pretty brutal competition on that one from people who have a lot more money than you, whose parents have left them millions of dollarinos, and who will do it for free, just for the prestige. Meanwhile, you're trying to make money from it. Any kind of job that is perceived to be fun, you will have infinite competition on. Just bear that in mind. And so such a job does not really exist. And when it does, your brain will make sure that it won't remain like that for long. And so my point is, you should not despair. You should understand that this is just the nature of the human mind. Your brain will always work like this. You could have the most ideal job in the world and it won't matter. You can look at celebrities, rich and famous with families, who do very bad things and they end things, let's put it that way, despite being attractive and rich and famous. A job which many people would love to do, and yet these people are so miserable that they press stop on the MP3 player. Let's just put it that way. And so, oh man, that's such a brutal fact. But that's how it is. The human mind will eventually go, I have a mansion in Los Angeles, I have millions of dollars, I have a family, I have fame, and I'm just not happy. And so you should always seek happiness from the inside, because it's pretty obvious. There are now enough examples of people with a lot of money pressing the stop button because they weren't happy, because the happiness was never in the money, it was never in the fame, it was never in the women. The happiness eluded them because the one place that did not look was inside themselves. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.